Hi, thanks for coming to this video about setting up optimization parameters in a building block strategy. We'll just set up the parameters for an optimization, but we won't actually go through optimization. That will be another video in the interest of time. We'll start with a moving average crossover strategy, since everyone's familiar with that, where we have two parameters, a fast period and a slow period. The idea is to set up a range of parameters that we can optimize on later. So right now the parameter is just set up for a single period, and what we want to do is make that period optimizable. So you just click on that set parameters button, the make it optimizable button, and you get this optimization settings dialog. Here we set up the variable name. We can make it more interesting, call it fast period, and the start, stop, and increment values. So the start value is the lowest value that you want the parameter to take on. The stop value is the highest, so we'll call that 30. And the increment is, we could go in steps of 5, but let's do 5. So that way we have 10, 15, 20, 25, and 30. Okay, and that's all we have to do for that one, 10 to 30 by steps of 5. And the parameter that's default is the default parameter is 30, okay? The one that's set up there. And we'll see how to change that later. Okay, we do the same thing for the next parameter. Instead of period 2, let's call that slow period. And we'll go from 40, sounds good, to 60 maybe. Steps, well, we can make this different. Steps of 10. You should make the increment equally divisible so that we can step between the lowest value and the highest stop value. Okay, so 40 to 60 by 10. Now what we want to do is set those same parameters up here. And the way you do that, instead of creating a new optimization variable, we're going to use an existing one. So we're going to select the one. The fast period is for this slow cross, I think the fast cross, I think I got the right one there. And yeah, because we're crossing under, we're going to sell at market. So, and then this one will be the slow period. So we use the existing one and select the slow period that we set up before. And there you have it. Okay. And I just noticed that since we're buying at market, I'll just throw this in there, we should be using a transaction weight, and you can read about that later. Okay, now that we have these optimization parameters set up, we save the strategy, and you'll notice that in the strategy settings we have another section here now called standard optimization parameters. Okay, and we're looking at the range of parameters. We have a slider that can go between the lowest and the highest value that we set up, and the values that are set here are the values that you're going to test with. If you run a test right now with the strategy, you'll use the values that you set here. Okay? And you could save these as the default so that the next time you open the strategy, it automatically uses those values. For example, we might set 2050, save that as the default. And okay. And something else that you may have noticed is down here in this left corner, we have another panel that when a strategy with optimization variables is active, you'll see the sliders down here. And you can hide that, show or hide that by the view menu right there. And this is handy because if you have a chart, let me close my optimization window quickly, or put it down there anyway, I'll minimize it. And we pull that into a chart window, and we're going to be streaming maybe or something like that. We don't have another way to change the parameters, and you can see you can change them right here. So we can slide that over and run the strategy, and you'll see that the periods are going to change here. Let's make this one, change that, click that to run again, and you can see that it changed. You can also select auto run when you're just using one symbol like I have here, so that when you change the parameter, it automatically runs. Okay, and there you have it. That's how you set up optimization parameters in a building block strategy.